Today, we are going to talk about your goals. Do you have any goals? What are your goals? What should your goals be? If we're trying to feminize our voice, what should we be looking for 3 months from now, a year from now? In this video, we are specifically going to be focusing on a 3-month goal in voice feminization. Our goal is to use that 3-month target as a simple jumping off platform for all of you to be able to take action and further thread that through to a longer term objective and understand how goal structure in anything can work to benefit your progress and skill development. Let's get into it. Goals are the objective of our ambitions. Why are you putting in all the time practicing? What are you trying to achieve from your action? What our ambitions are pointed at and what our objective is changes depending on where we're at and when we are working on the action. You might have something in mind of a 5-year goal. That is so far out. And the slippery challenge with pinning down what your goals should be is depending on what you are doing, your goals should change. If you're thinking about the entire process and project you're working on overall, yeah, you want to think about the very end goal, the most distant thing. What is the ultimate achievement of that project that you're picking up? However, when you're working day to day, your goal has to be smaller. Your goal has to be based on what you're actively doing, the individual actions that are being taken and the compound of those actions across a day or a week or a month. We have to recognize that goals come in different scales. We have this large scale goal, which is over a long period of time. And we think about that and we orient against that, but we don't actively hold that with each action that we're doing minute by minute or hour by hour, right? We check in back to that to remind us what the purpose of the process is for us. What can I try to achieve in 3 months? That's only 90 days, not a long period of time, but it's enough to allow time to pass and for you to play in the skill. But for you to even get to 90 days, what is your goal right now? When you take the action and when you go to practice and when you go to make the sound, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to hear? And people often confuse that goal for those longer term goals. If you're working in voice feminization, you think, I just want to sound feminine. I just want my voice to pass. Okay, that's great. Hold that goal out there. That's the objective of everything that we're going to try to do. But until you can determine action by action what's relatively closer or relatively further from your goal, ultimately that won't happen. When we're thinking about the short-term goal, the minute by minute or action by action goal, that is why we stress understanding perception. This process is an oral process. We sense what we hear while we're doing it, and we have to recognize, interpret, select, organize, and evaluate what we're hearing to determine if we're a little better or a little worse. That doesn't mean we've achieved the ultimate end. It's just saying, I'm working on this part of my voice. I'm working on trying to go higher in pitch in a way that sounds comfortable. Is this action closer towards that goal or not? And we have to be able to hear that. So each action we're doing, we're applying that micro goal to it, that perceptual goal, that action goal. You're at the beginning and you need to be able to determine right from wrong or progress from error at that stage. And that doesn't mean evaluating against the ideal. It means understanding the territory, getting acquainted with the different qualities, listening to the sound, taking a little bit of time and just seeing if you can do a little more than you could 5 minutes ago, a little more than you could yesterday with the actions that you're taking. So if you are trying to work on voice feminization, I think a reasonable 3-month goal is simply to try and feel more comfortable, sound more relaxed, and have a better access to higher pitches. We want to start to gain that freedom and flexibility. So we're not sounding really pinched off, but we have this like flowing. Like even if the voice sounds a little bit more masculine still, we're looking for that fluidity and we're looking for that higher pitch access, because then from there, changing the color of it, changing the quality of it, you're going to have 9 more months to your year goal to try to achieve that change. This access to higher pitches is the foundational core to developing a feminine voice. Even if you want to talk at a lower pitched feminine voice, it still relies on the type of vocal coordinations we use to go higher. We talked about this in the lower pitched feminine voice video. So always we want to see in the first 3 months in a feminine voice journey, we want to see someone moving higher. We want to see someone getting more relaxed. It's not to say that your feminine voice is going to be super high or you have to go to a high pitch. It's just you want to be building foundational skills that allow you to sound comfortable, relaxed, and neutral at those high pitches, because then they become areas for you to start shaping and for you to start really moving freely on. Now, if we then think about that 3-month goal, let's look even shorter. What should be your 1-month goal? I think in 1 month, you should play around with your voice. You shouldn't even really think so much about like nuts and bolts, I'm trying to get everything right. For a month, you should just play with your voice, move your pitch around, just make random sounds, explore your voice before a month before you even really think about a more complex action from there. Because a lot of individuals' difficulties come from the fact they're just so boxed in vocally. They have this preset range of qualities they've done when they speak, and then they try to jump in head first into achieving their 5-year goal or 1-year goal, and they don't actually give themselves an opportunity to play. So, take your voice and just play with it. Throw it around and go slow. Move with it. See if you can go higher and shed some of that sound. Play with stopping and starting it, kind of more forced. Playing with the range of sound production. These are just open-ended explorations that start to build foundational interaction, foundational skills, and awareness about the voice. You want to be able to get your hands dirty first. After you start to gain that comfortability with pitch, then I want you to start listening for the quality of sound you hear when you go up. If you're going up in pitch and it sounds more forceful, more aggressive, harsher, more strained, hoarse, crackling, labored, if it feels uncomfortable, if you feel like your voice is gonna crack, that's what you want to be listening for. That's what you want to be observing, because your ability in that small moment to make even a 1%, 5%, 10% improvement of trying to go a little higher and sound a little more comfortable, that builds out all the way to your 3 months. That is what builds skill. So the most effective structure in forming goals is a structure where you both have the macro goal, the very far out goal, but also the present goal, the micro goal. And we want to see an integration of all of them. 5 years out, let's say you want to sound female, you want to pass, you want to have a more feminine voice, whatever that represents to you. And then we want to see in a year, you get conversational and you start to have confidence being able to use that conversationally. In 3 months, we're looking to hear our voice getting higher and more comfortable as we go higher. To achieve that, we first just want to play with our voice. After we play with our voice to achieve more control, we want to specifically be listening for when we're getting tight or strained or labored or effortful when we work to get higher. It comes back always in service of the ultimate goal, but we can't focus on that in the foreground with each action we take. The big goal is in the background and the present goal is in the foreground, because that is what allows us to get meaning action by action, understanding the relative quality of each action we're taking so that we can take positive steps forward, recognize positive steps forward, and recognize steps backward. And that allows us to progress in that trajectory, scaling up in complexity towards that complex, abstract, far-off goal. That's all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the channel. Check us out on Patreon. We've been putting out a lot of amazing content over there as well. You can support the work on our channel and learn a lot more about what we do at TransVoiceLessons. If you like this shirt, it will be available in our upcoming merch drop, so be on the lookout for that. And otherwise, have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care. Bye.